So right now I'm going to show off a project I've been working on for a little bit. It's a project to, actually, let's get it started real quick because it takes a bit. So PCFX. So this is a project to emulate the NEC PC engine on the NEC PCFX. So let's just get it started because this loading right here, it's not quite loading, but this screen takes a while. So I'll explain things now. So basically the PCFX has a lot of the same hardware that's in the PC engine. So I thought it would be fun to write an emulator that just uses the native hardware. So basically all this emulator emulates the CPU and hooks up the interfaces to the PCFX's hardware, which is real quick and easy. But I've got it booting games. So this is Shanghai by original software by Activision, ported by Hudson. So the important thing to realize is this is a very early version and everything runs really slowly because my CPU emulator is written in C instead of assembly and doesn't do any crazy things like just-in-time compilation, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing. But there's pretty much no glitching. The music works. I actually started it off with that last video I made, which was just for music. But now when it draws this title screen, you'll see exactly what I mean by it being incredibly slow. But yeah, it's coming along. Next thing I'm going to do, like, pretty much everything is done. It's just really slow. So the next thing that I'm going to do is rewrite the CPU core to, I'll probably write it in assembly next, and then after that it probably still won't be fast enough, so I'll try a recompiler. But yeah, it's pretty low on features right now. It has a overlay for a debug screen, but that makes it really slow. And oh, music started. So the sound does work, but because the CPU is so slow, it drops a lot of interrupts for handling it, so the music's kind of messed up, which is why it sounded off in the last video. But yeah, that doesn't draw that slowly normally. Normally it just shows like immediately. But yeah, so it's actually, the emulator is pretty Spartan right now. It just has, so it uses normal PCFX pad. Directional pad works, start and select work, 1 and 2 work. The other 4 buttons aren't used, and neither are the mode switches. Though the mode switches are actually used for my debugger that I've built in to help me work on this. And they make the emulation a lot slower, and they're kind of wonky on hardware. But yeah, so turn that off usually. But you can tell it's running way too slow by how the music finished before the title screen even finished drawing. It's so slow it's basically unplayable, unfortunately, but I have verified it to work by being extremely patient, and I don't imagine anyone else is patient enough to watch through like 10 minutes of waiting for it to accept my input. So I'll probably save that for another video when I actually have everything running decently. But for now, that's going to be it. See y'all around.